What's going on, fucking boys?
Wagwan TBC.
Yes, mate. So in today's ep, we have an amazing guest on. He's called Jason, and he runs the fucking huge thing that is called CLEW as an Insta page. He had merch. He's the dude that sent us that merch out a while ago when we fucking banged it on our stories and shit. And he's just a fucking unreal guy. CLEW, for anyone who doesn't know, is like a play on words between Cleethorpes, which is where he's from, which is I believe it's like some shitty little town in Grimsby or something like that.
Yeah, I think it's part of Grimsby, a little seaside town. Yeah,
but it's a play on words with Cleethorpes and then VW, like Volkswagen, which makes CLEW. And it's just because it's a huge fucking Volkswagen camper van enthusiast, which you'll find out in the pod. But I'm not doing it justice, to be fair. It is actually sick though, like everything that he's done. And he did the merch and everything, but he's made his own fucking festival, which he does an annual festival, mate. And it looks fucking naughty. But yeah, like such a good episode. Like we had fucking so much fun recording it, didn't we? This one obviously comes straight after the one with Rick. So, shout out Rick. And
shout out Rick. Yeah, doing really well, that one, by the way.
Yeah, well, I was gonna say it's always a hard one to follow, innit? Like when it's like a proper fucking bantery one, and he's just a fucking geezer, Rick. But like when we spoke to CLEW after, it was like, mate, that is unreal. Like proper smashed it, and he's such a fucking nice guy. Like proper,
such a good guy, and he came prepared as well. Like he had shit wrote down that he wanted to tell. Yeah, his chest. Like it was very appreciated that how much preparation he put into it. So nice one for that, Jason.
Yeah, hell yeah, mate. Like we obviously have our notes and stuff like that, and like obviously, just any questions or whatever, or just like topics that we can kind of like poke at and stuff like that. And then obviously Jason was just like, yeah, so I'll just get my notes out. I'm going to ask you some questions. And I was like, oh shit. But he was fucking mint.
I prepped.
But he's such a fucking top guy, mate. Like, honestly. And he's in the fucking po as well. So heads down, boys.
Yeah, heads down, boys.
But yeah, mate, nothing else to really add on that intro, mate. But how's everything with you? You all good?
Everything's good here, mate. I'm just counting down the days till we get to go to the fucking Toon.
Oh, yes, mate. That's sick. So, yeah, me and Rye are going to be hitting up the Toon. Is it on the 28th of May?
29th. Friday, the 29th of March.
May. Fuck me. March. My head is clearly up my ass.
Did you say Feb then?
I said Feb and then I said May. Like, so
fucking nonce.
I know. Just fucking busy AF at the minute with everything, like fucking working like a dog and shit like that. So, yeah, mate, we're going on the 29th of March, did you say?
That's correct.
So if we have any listeners in the fucking Toon that will show us a good time, show us where the fucking Gentleman Lounge clubs are at.
Newcastle Gentleman's Lounge.
You call me a nonce. But
oh yeah. Oh fuck.
But yeah, anyway, enjoy the app, guys. It's a fucking sick one.
Enjoy. TBC out.
Peace. So in today's episode, we are welcoming all the way from the sunny Cleethorpes. Is it Cleethorpes?
That's right.
Yeah. Big up. I'm dyslexic. I can't even say dyslexic. I am dyslexic as fuck, so I struggle sometimes. But yeah, we've got Jason here, who, as far as Instagram can see, loves all things Volkswagen, drinking hoppy seafronting beverages, and just tries not to get murdered by his wife and children. Does that pretty much sum up your life?
Interview done, I think. That's me. In a nutshell.
I guess like one of my first questions is like the what is that Cleefest thing? Is it just Volkswagen enthusiast music? Like what is it?
So yeah, CLEW is, if you haven't figured it out by now, is a pun on VW. Like I get told that a lot. I didn't realise what the name was. Cle rhyming with V.
I actually didn't get that.
Really?
No. Again, fucking thick as fuck.
I thought it was a D, mate.
I've got so many people in the group who don't know what it is. But yeah, basically, during lockdown, I bought my first ever Volkswagen. I've been in love with them for years. My dad had a Beetle when I was a kid. We hired one of the classics to go on a stag do years ago with me and a couple of mates. It's just that freedom in it to go get in and go wherever you want. So I bought one a few years ago now. Loved it. Bright orange and blue van. Turned up, the missus was like, what on earth is that? But yeah, rock and roll bed in the back and cooking. You know, it's got TV, it's got a kettle, it's got double gas hob. It's like sick, but like it was ace. And my dad had passed away, but my dad's name was Kevan, not Kevin. So I thought, well, I'll just name the van Kevan then.
No way.
Slapped my dad's name on this van, and then all of a sudden, everywhere you go, once you've got one, you know, it's like you see them everywhere. And I just didn't realise there was a massive scene in Cleethorpes. Huge scene for it. Anywhere seaside-y, because like a lot of the VW stuff, camper vans especially, ties into a lot of the sort of surfing scene. You know, like driving to the seaside and getting out on the waves and that. So yeah, me and the missus was chatting. She said, "What you don't know about Volkswagens, as in like tinkering with engines and stuff, you know how to throw a party. You know how to be sociable. You know how to do all that side of things. You can learn about engines and shit on the way." So I just went, yeah, sure, why not? For if like you lads have said on previous episodes with TBC, if you get one person, you're like, oh, sick, we made a difference. I think I'm up at about 2,000 members now, and that's all sort of local. And then like a few have travelled and heard about it, and there's a massive scene nationally. And I just thought, if we get some of that here, then great. I'm just basically too lazy to travel to other festivals, so
you've made one yourself.
I'll just throw one. But yeah, we become a dad in the last couple of years, so we wanted to throw some sort of like, you know, family friendly, real good feeling, post COVID, get out of the house, you know, real sociable stuff. So we hosted at a showground in Cleethorpes, put bands on, throw big part, you know, just stilt walkers walking around. There's Bumblebee from Transformers walking around. There's like, you know, like I say, crafts and arts and crafts for kids to do, and yeah, just loads of foodies, loads of drink, you know, the usual sort of stuff. And it's had really good feedback, to be fair. So if we walk out the door and we haven't made a penny profit, but we put some smiles on some faces, then I'm happy.
Yeah, that's mint, that.
Is that all just like Clee W then? That whole festival? Like,
no, anyone could come. You could walk in. Like, if you don't own one, you can just walk in. Because we do like like a classic, like a car show. Like,
yeah.
With all the VWs are parked up, and they can camp for the night. But it's like a show and shine, and they'll polish up, and there's a People's Choice Award, so you could like vote on your favourite and stuff like that, and win trophies and stuff. Yeah, it's inclusive.
That sounds well good, because we've said something in the past, haven't we, about possibly in the future doing like a festival or something. Do you want like a Trouble Boys Club one?
TBC Fest.
Yeah, and just like you said, just similar to that, like family, like anyone can come, and it's just, I don't know, like
it does sound mint.
You know,
when's the next one?
To be fair, we've had to postpone it this year. We've done two. We postponed it this year. It would have been in the summer, but hopefully it'll be back next year. But again, part of what I was going to talk about in the episode is sort of why we've postponed it and stuff. It's big reasons. Do you know what I mean? So I wouldn't have done it just ad hoc. Do you know what I mean? Because I absolutely love it. So
yeah, well, we can cover that then when it comes to it. You have to reveal all right now. But
yeah, that might get emotional indeed. But I like to be fair.
Oh, I'm excited then. I'm excited. Fancy a good cry.
Yeah. Do you mind if I pop a can, by the way?
Oh, mate, go for it.
We're way ahead of you, mate.
I literally popped mine before.
Cheers.
What are you drinking anyway?
Yeah, why are you drinking?
What are you drinking? Doc's beers. Clap, 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 clap.
Oh, is it hazy session pale ale?
That sounds perfect.
Yes. That is right up my street, mate.
Named after the Grimsby Town Football Club's famous chant. That's just the whole stand of blokes just going fish.
That's it. That's the whole chant.
That is the whole chant, just because Grimsby's fishing heritage. Yeah, they're called the Mariners. So our local breweries decided to do clap, clap, clap fish.
No way, that's sick. I take it you're a Grimsby fan then, or?
I have a problem with Grimsby though. Like as a football, I'm gonna get slammed if anyone listens to this. Like, love footy, massive footy fan. But because of my policing aspect, I struggle to go to games.
Yeah.
There's that element of obviously the people that aren't really going for the game, they're going for a fight.
Yeah. So you not like switch off, kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll be honest with you, forget about the police. Even if I was just like, average Joe, like, I want to take my lad to a game. I don't want to have to like shield him from some idiot wanting a scrap. Do you know what I mean? And it does put me off, if I'm honest. So, I follow the town. Don't get me wrong. I always check the scores and that, but my lad's got shirts and things. But yeah, probably going to family stand now rather than
true.
The pontoon.
The pontoon. I can't believe it's still prevalent. All that, like, going to football matches to what a fight. Like,
it's so annoying.
Yeah. It's just like, just come on.
Barmy. But we had these. So like, obviously, like local derbies are a big thing, aren't they? Where you play like Grimsby play Donny or Lincoln or someone round us, Hull, someone like that. And they used to do this thing at Christmas. Because me and all my mates love going to a game at Christmas time, meeting up, having a beer and having that social time together as lads. And they used to play Lincoln, who was the same league, at home on like around Christmas and then away at New Year. So like the reverse fixture. Me and all my mates would go to both, I try to go to both games. But the last time I went to town, I went in, sat for the game, and say like we were sat about at the halfway line, we were scoring like that way, or shooting that way. This geezer comes in 15 minutes in, sits right in front of me, and then decides to stand up. The away fans are that way, and he's like facing that way just the whole game, just going, come on, do you know what I mean? All this sort of stuff.
Right in front of you.
And we scored over there, and he's facing that way. And I was like, and he didn't know. The only reason he knew we scored is because we all cheered. Like, I was like, why have you paid your money just to be like, you know what I mean, like a weekend rock star type thing? But yeah, he's giving it big licks. He's some disgraceful like slander out his mouth, and it was like an 80s, 90s throwback. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, I think we had a female lino, and he was vile. Absolutely vile towards her, and I was sat right obviously where he was, and she got a couple of calls absolutely bang on, a couple of offsides. She was absolutely bang on. She got one decision wrong. Fucking, he went for it. Do you know what I mean?
Just absolute abuse.
Everything, like disgusting stuff. Do you know what I mean? Like, so it's put me off a bit, if I'm honest, but yeah, still keep up to date with the scores.
It's true.
But yeah, sort of one of them. Who do you guys support? Are you divided in that?
I'm a City fan.
Yeah.
He's a United fan.
Yeah, I think I heard that on a previous ep, and I was like, ooh.
I'm a United fan, and he's a City fan. And
bragging rights at the minute.
Yeah, at the minute, it's like I'm a bit like you in terms of like I've gone off it a bit in terms of like I just can't really be arsed, like, because I don't know whether you follow the Premier League as much, but yeah, like I've since obviously Fergie's left in like however long ago it was now, like fucking 10 years ago. Just every year I've had that like hope of like we're gonna come back, and then it's just fucking disappointment year after year after year, and it's just fucking it's depressing, mate. Like, and then obviously having him as a best mate who's a fucking City fan, and they're smashing it, and they're amazing. Like,
but I'm not a twat with it though. Like, I could be well more of a twat.
Yeah, like what I mean. I own it though. I know City's like probably the best team in the world, and it just is what it is. But yeah, like. We're United. I just can't really be arsed at the minute. I have enough shit going on in my life. I can't be bothered to fucking devote that much time to it.
I don't need that negativity.
Exactly, and that's all it was. It was making me negative and like miserable and shit. But anyway, slightly moving on. Just wanted to say thank you as well, mate. Like for the fucking box that you sent. Like it was sick, and he's not took that fucking bucket off since he's got it.
A shower in it.
He's absolutely obsessed with it.
When you said you're dripping in it, I thought you meant like
sweating because he's not took it off.
Oh no, I meant it literally.
No, it's all right. Like I said, I mean, obviously I'm putting a text to you boys at the end of the day. Like, a big fan, a big advocate of like anyone out there doing what you class as positive stuff. Do you know what I mean? And
yeah,
whatever avenue you see that taking, run with it. Do you know what I mean? And give it your best shot. And my Clee W group, do you know what I mean? Like loads of people said to me, "Oh, I wouldn't have." He'll hate me for throwing him under the bus, but the geezer who's our photographer he's never charged me a penny because he's quite openly sort of said to me, I'm really like antisocial, and I get worried in sort of social situations and stuff. He said, but you've been like uber nice to me, like and just welcomed me with open arms. Told him to bring his missus and his kids down, and told him to put the camera down and come have a drink. Just like been genuine. And he said something, he said real kind words about Glee W, and loads of other people said like, the community aspect of it and just that social side of things, do you know what I mean, is real positive. That they've all said real kind things to me. But obviously with my background of, work and whatnot, I don't know, it's one of the things, as soon as you see something the way you think, actually, there's some good people in the world, enough about the stuff running me at the footy. There's a couple of young lads, like out there trying to do what you're doing and pushing the positive agenda. And actually, I actually went to watch the City United game the other day with my mate in the pub. And he was like, "Oh, what are you doing Thursday night?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm on this podcast, blah, blah." I think I texted you saying I spoke to a couple of lads about it. And he went, "Oh, no, I'm not listening to anything like that because it'll be kind of like
heavy
a certain way." Yeah. And I said, "Nah, check it out because within about 2 minutes these boys will swear their heads off and ask something that gets the guest going and that." And he said he checked one episode out. I can't remember which one it was, but he said it was decent. And again, like I texted him and I was like, "I'm going to send these boys a couple of beers and they do this what you drinking feature. I'll send them a couple of fucking Doc's beers and some merch and that, just as a keep going lads sort of thing." So honestly, God, there's no need to say I appreciate the thank you, but it's it was more of a like, well done to you boys, do you know what I mean? And keep doing what you're doing.
No, that's mint.
So hard.
Well, appreciate that. And like you said about the pod as well, I'm always the same in terms of like if we say it's a mental health podcast, I feel like people will always think like, oh, I can't be arsed listening to that, because I'd be the same. But like it's we try to like make it not like your typical mental health, drain, like a bit dark, and like you come out of it feeling a bit shit. Like we tried to make it a bit fucking fun and different, and just encourage people, like you said, to talk and open up and stuff like that. But
sorry.
No, go on. You're all right, mate.
I was going to say, like me and my mates have obviously now got some years behind us, shall we say, a bit of experience and a bit of wool on the back. But like say, like my core group of mates, maybe like 6 or 7 of us. I think only one of us now has got a dad left. Like all our dads have passed away. Like
no way.
Hardly any of it. Like I don't think any of us have reached 40 yet. We're all like mid-30s or under. All of our dads have passed away for whatever reason. Maybe it's Grimsby. Maybe.
Jeez, something in the water.
Heavy drinking and fish diet.
Fish.
And all that clapping.
But yeah, I mean, one of us has got a dad, and the God's honest truth is that I really struggled when my dad passed away, and I just would not have got through with it. Yes, you need just an arm around your support from your missus. That's key. Yeah, you need work support of time, bits and pieces of time off, whatever. But I know for a full fact I would not have got through that if it wasn't for what we would class as like the savage banter of your mates, where literally my dad died on like a Monday. The Tuesday I was crying about it, and on the Wednesday my mate said, "Are you over it yet?" But you know who you can do that with, and you know who you can't.
100%.
Like the jokes and stuff in that group they're not everyone's taste and that, and sometimes they're not mine, but you take it because it comes from a good place. Do you know what I mean? And one of my mates today, he's literally posted that it's 7 years since his dad died. And I texted him, just checking in, about 8 o'clock this morning. Said, mate, I've always struggled on the days
on the
and the
anniversaries
and stuff. I said, however, my dad was one of them blokes who'd be like, crack on, mate. You know what I mean? You got some other shit to do now. Do you know what I mean? Like, so I texted him, sort of saying like, I'll read it out because he'll hate me, but see your mum shared about your dad's anniversary. I'm not going to lie, always struggle on similar days like today until I realised my dad would have told me, stop being a fanny and crack on. Hope you're as good as possible today, mate. And he put, yeah, cheers, mate. Crazy how long it's been. Rough day. Cheers for reaching out, though. And I put, so have you cracked on then, yeah? I just started the day like that. Do you know what I mean? He knows I'm taking a piss.
Yeah,
there's no malice in there, is there?
I'd be there for him, sort of thing. Do you know what I mean? And I think with your mates that you've got long-term established friendships with, you know, it's like unwritten, isn't it? You know who's
100%.
I think it's quite special, though, those friendships where no matter what they say, dark as they can take you to places in your mind where you're like, fucking hell. But there's no malice. There's no intent. They don't actually mean it. They're just trying to take you there so you can, somewhat laugh about it and be like, yeah, fucking hell.
Because I always think like there's like two things you can do. You can either feel sorry for yourself and, be upset about it and shit like that, or you can try and laugh about it in some weird fucked up way. And that always reminds me of I don't know what you think of him because he's very controversial, but Ricky Gervais, his stand up, he's very on the edge and a lot of people don't like him, but he's very good at taking the piss out of very dark situations. And I'm a big believer in that because I just think like if you don't fucking laugh at certain things, I'm not saying necessarily like laugh at it, but like you said then, like taking the piss out of your mate or whatever and being like, are you fucking cracking on then or what? Like, and I just think it's the best way to fucking be because, if you're going to be dead down and depressing and shit about stuff all the time, like, you literally don't know if it's your last day. And then, I don't know what I'm trying to get at, but it's just, I think it's just good to just fucking crack on and try and be as upbeat and as positive as you can and stuff like that.
I think to be fair, like just summing up, it's like summing that up. It's something we've always said between each other. Like you said, there's two ways you can go. So you either, from that point, you either go down a negative route and struggle, or you're trying to be as positive as you can. And you might struggle every now and then, but you've only, like you say, you've only got one life. You're only here for you're only here for a certain amount of time. My dad himself would have been the first person I know to crack a joke about, do you know what I mean, like something like that. So he would expect that from me.
100%,
do you know what I mean? Like, and I was going to tell you a story actually, but like, again, I don't know if it's in bad taste or not, but like,
mate, we love bad taste.
We love bad taste.
I've written it down now, so I need to tick it off, don't I? So my dad passed away and whatnot, but he asked, like before, he had cancer, so he was in like hospital for a long period of time and stuff. We were having conversations about, like future stuff and whatnot. And he said to me, "Oh, will you do a eulogy?" I said, "Yeah, of course I would." I was his best man at his wedding as well, so I did
no way.
I was best man at his wedding. Did a best man speech, which it's so hard to pitch for your dad.
Yeah,
just fucking go for it, can't you? Your dad, it's like
you got to respect him a bit, kind of.
There's that line, but I'll tell you the first story first. There's a best man speech story, which is horrible, but maybe for half an hour's time. The cancer story. He said, "Oh, will you do my eulogy?" I said, "Yeah, but don't expect it to be nice." And he was like, "No, I wouldn't." I was like, "No, I mean, dead genuine, Dad." Like, and he went, "Yeah, fuck me up." Like,
fuck me up.
That's so sick. That's mint.
He was like, "Go for it." So anyway, passed away. Real sad. Next day, true. I wrote this eulogy out, and it was hilarious to me. Absolutely hilarious. Like, just all the funny stuff that me and my dad over the years, real good bond and friendship and that. gets in the crematorium, cemetery and whatnot, where you obviously got coffins to the side. And Grimsby has got a floor in front of you, so I'm stood on this like podium, looking down. There's loads of people there, but it's got a bank at the top of a balcony. And what they decided to do was basically get all the Navy lot that my dad served with all medals and stuff from around the country, most of them based in Portsmouth. They all turned up for each other's, weddings and all this sort of stuff. Heard my dad died, rallied the troops literally, and got them up on this balcony. I didn't know they were coming.
And then you've got to do this fucking comedy performance in front of them all.
They're all like this.
They're all literally like that. Raising flags and stuff. And I'm like, oh, this first joke's going to bomb. And I literally stood up there and I went, right, show of hands in the room. Let's address the elephant in the room. Who here was ever fucking pissed off by my dad? And like all the room, like everyone in the room, including on the top. And I went, is that because you got served on the same boat and he slipped into your bedrooms? I slipped a Navy joke in there, like, as you do. And like literally the deck stairs down. I was like, oh god, Come up to me afterwards, they were like, yeah, your dad said you'd do that. Like, your dad said you were that kind of kid. And I was like, oh yeah, all right.
At least you didn't disappoint.
Yeah, I've been to so many funerals, unfortunately, heard eulogies, which are all like, oh, he was the best guy. And, blah, blah, blah. And yeah, that might be true, but my dad had a bad side. Do you know what I mean? He had that side to him which I acknowledged. Do you know what I mean? That he could rub people the wrong way. Went on to say he was a real good dude. He was real good. He'd give me his last quid if you want. If I needed it, kind of bloke. So I just think it's more truthful and realistic. Do you know what I mean? And I've seen in the paper where like the papers are always bad for this, or social media. There'll be a kid dying, like in a. Or like some drug dealer or something, or like some real bad lad. Oh, he was the best kid. He was the best. Oh, he wouldn't have hurt a fly. Oh, the kid that held up the post office with a machete the other week.
Top bloke.
Yeah, let him walk my gran across the road, that kind of guy. And I just think, why are we dicking around? I mean, be truthful. If he was an arse, he was an arse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely.
So just prefer to be a bit honest about things. And yeah, my dad would have been the first to make them jokes. We also all regularly text each other when it's Father's Day. You walk past the pub and outside they'll be like, bring your dad for a free meal.
Yeah.
Every single year, take a picture of it, stick it in the lads group chat. You can't go.
Oh, I could imagine like when it's like, is it June Father's Day? Like it's a week before. You're like, thought who's the first one going to do it? Like,
but now I've had a kid, I'm like, actually, I'm back in the game.
Yeah, full circle then, isn't it? When you have your own kid. But no, I remember you saying when we was messaging Jason that another thing that you sort of like struggle to like compartmentalise, or if that's the right word or not, is that your dad never got to meet your son.
Yeah.
And that I mentioned that on purpose because I've been through this exact same thing. Like my mum passed away when I was a kid, so she never got to meet my son or daughter. And when you're like pondering those questions internally, like I wonder what like their relationship would be like. I bet they take them to the park and make them bacon butties and stuff like that. And it's a hard thing to sort of like not think about they can crop up in your head at the most random times, especially around like Mother's Day, Christmas, and birthdays and anniversaries of when they passed away and stuff. And you're like, God, I wonder. And it is hard to sort of like, I think the wrong word's like overcome or whatever, because I think it's always
accept it.
It's always going to be there, but you're like, God, I wish I got to see that relationship.
Yeah, if for no other reason, then you've lost an instant babysitter, haven't you?
Oh yeah, exactly. Yeah,
you've lost a grandparent. I'm 4 down to 3. Like, what's You know, if I want to pop out on a Friday night.
Yeah, literally some of my like greatest memories are staying over at my grandparents with my cousins and that, and obviously our parents just swanning off to do pub quizzes or whatever.
Yeah.
And like we ain't got no babysitters like now. Like we're fucked.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Although my dad probably would have. I'm not saying he did it on purpose.
God.
He probably cashed out before he had to change more shitty nappies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, like, it's just done his time, like and the rest of it in the bloody Falklands. But
you can deal with these. Like, I'm not having it anymore. But yeah, it's I did mention it before because, like you just alluded to there, do you know what I mean? You're sort of saying about, you wonder about the relationship and stuff, and we've got a picture of my dad upstairs in his uniform, his medals, and we're telling our lad, oh, that's Grandad Kev, and that's all he'll ever know of that. Do you know what I mean? As a toddler, until he gets up and really, grows up and really understands it. But yeah, it's just difficult, innit? And like I've caught myself crying a couple of times, and not ashamed to admit that in the slightest. Do you know what I mean? It's it catches me off guard, and you know what I mean, like just pops into your head every now and then. We've got one of them Google hubs in the corner. Other brands are available, by the way. And it's got like a rolling photo album, and sometimes it does a split screen if the photo is like a certain size. And like, it sounds really weird, but like most of the time it's fine. Like I'm looking at it now, so it's just changed. My son on one side is my son and my mum on the other. And every now and then it'll crop up and it'll be like my dad on one side, my son on the other, and you're like, is that doing that on purpose just to be a dick to me?
Google knows.
Yeah, but it's hard, and even to the point where like you wonder what your morals, ethics, values, what you're implementing to your child has that came from how they raised you, didn't it? Do you know what I mean? So, are you doing it right? Are you doing it wrong? That guidance, that advice, it's all sort of out the window a little bit. Her dad's great, and I get on with him like fantastically, but it's not the same. Do you know what I mean? It never will be. As much as I like the guy, he's not my dad. Do you know what I mean? Simple as that. So there are aspects, if I'm honest, where I think actually, if my dad saw, my lad doing something naughty, my dad will probably be old school in the way he'd kind of discipline that. Where I'm a little bit more 2024, I suppose. You know what I mean? Can't run up and go poof.
Yeah, it's frowned upon that now, isn't it?
Yeah. I'm a little bit more like naughty step, and you're not having any jelly after you tea. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
There's probably those aspects where I just miss him. Do you know what I mean? It's killer as soon as you lose a parent, if you get on well. And hopefully, obviously, I'll be able to manage it and compartmentalise it into a way that I can teach him in the future about all the best parts about my dad and our relationship and stuff. Do you know what I mean? But there's blokes as well. You'll know, obviously, from speaking to your previous guests and stuff. You have them as role models from literally the earliest age. That when they're gone, and you have to take that place of being a role model.
Yeah.
A lot of my friends have struggled with that. I suppose in a way I've not struggled with that side of things, maybe because of 16 years in the police, because people look up to you in that sort of role. So I'm not struggling with how he kind of looks at me as how to behave or what's right, what's wrong. But I think I'm just worried about kind of like just being enough. Do you know what I mean? I don't know, like he'll look at her side of the family and go, well, I've got a granddad there, and do you know what I mean? Is my dad's side of the family enough? Because it's, I don't know, like you like to think you are, but yeah, it's that internal battle, I suppose, isn't it?
Yeah, I know what you mean. As in, like, am I providing enough just as me as a bloke, and then he might turn around and be like, where's Thingy, where's Grandad Kev and stuff like that. Yeah. And it's like, well, I can't. I wish I could magic him here with us, mate, but unfortunately that's not the case. And obviously that's conversation further down the line, isn't it, when they're a bit more grown up and stuff. But
yeah, definitely.
Do you celebrate like your dad's birthday and stuff like with your family now? You know, if it's your dad's birthday, you go out for a meal or something like that. 'Cause that's what me and my dad tend to do. Like for Mother's Day and a birthday, like we'll go and do something. Like we'll go play golf or go watch a game of football just to like celebrate their existence, really. Yeah.
Yeah, I think what me and my sister tend to do, and whether she realises it or not, we kind of buy stuff from my van because it's named after my dad.
It's true.
So, do you know what I mean? We'll just buy like an air freshener and be like, you know, like a personalised one with a picture on him or something, or I'll get some new alloys if I'm feeling a bit like flush. Do you know what I mean?
Bit frisky.
Treat the van. Do you know what I mean? Whatever. Yeah, it's probably because I've named it after him, and I put things in there that a lot of it inside is like relevant to him and his like. So there's like some anchors for the Navy reference.
Oh, nice.
There's like some little Tarantino figures because like we just absolutely smashed Tarantino marathons together. Yeah, just little touches and just nice things really. There's a bottle of rum on the back. In an optic on the back wall of my van and stuff, so I might just like pop down the seafront and have a short, not drink drive, but like get Lindsay to drive a van and I'll have a rum. Do you know what I mean? Sort of do whatever, but yeah, just make a nod to it rather than
yeah.
I mean,
that's really nice. I was going to say, like, I know we spoke about it briefly before we jumped on the actual call. But would you mind like telling us just a little bit more about Clee W and why that all started? Because I know, is that to do with your dad as well? Because did you say your dad loved all like Volkswagens and stuff?
Yeah, he had his parents had an orange Beetle when my dad was a kid, and then I sort of vaguely remember it kicking around, maybe in photographs more rather than actually like getting in it when I was a kid, but. Yeah, he was just a big fan of that. And then, like I said, we did a stag do, me and a couple of mates in a rented sort of old classic camper van. And just referring back to those conversations when my dad was sick and he was, on the way to sort of checking out, and he knew that, and he's quite straight down the line, like, we need to have these chats. One of the things he was saying was, I'm not a millionaire, mate, but I've got a couple of quid scribbled away. When I'm gone, that'll be yours, that'll be your sister's, this will be, like, it's real clinical. And he said, but with yours, I've got a request. Buy a van. Like, buy a van. You've spent the last couple of years sort of, between policing and caring for him. It's been a stressful couple of years. I was quite fortunate he got to meet my missus before he passed away, and he really liked her. He said, get you and your missus, get in a van and go. Like, just... that freedom sort of thing, and I must have looked at probably about over 100 vans on eBay, Facebook Marketplace, usual sort of auto traders. Just wasn't feeling it. Just wasn't getting that. There was good vans out there, good mileage and everything like that. But
was you only looking at Volkswagens as well? Sorry, or was you looking at... yeah. Okay.
Yeah, if I'm honest, mainly because my dad told me like they were bulletproof, some of the engines and stuff. And again, I'm not massively. I wasn't previously. I'm not into my cars. I wasn't into like engines. You just said to me a 1.9 TDI. I thought you was talking about a fucking sexual disease or something. So he was just sort of telling me bits to get and what to look for. So I did put that search criteria in and just kind of kept to that. And then one come up in Donny, and the pictures looked great. Mileage was low. I thought, I'll just get the train over to Donny and just go check it out. And as soon as I got there, I just had this feeling that it was pissing it down with rain all the way there. Checked the van out, and it stopped raining. The sun come through the clouds. Like, I'm not religious in the slightest, but it looked like
a fucking sunlight beamed over it.
Like, this is the one, son.
I checked it over. It was okay, but it was the right price. Paid the money, got in it, driving it home, and again sunny. And I pressed the CD player, and it was on a dodgy radio. I pressed CD player, and this CD popped out, and it was Performance and Cocktails by Stereophonics, like album.
Yeah.
That was one of my dad's favourite albums.
Wow. Fuck off, no way.
So, you know, when you're like, I didn't believe in anything like that. The CD just popped out and I was like, no way. And banged it back in, it was Have a Nice Day playing.
Fuck off.
Wow.
Yeah. You know, and just like, oh, fuck. Like,
that's such like a classic album as well.
Stars are aligning, aren't they, in that sense?
Just drove it home and got all the way home, pulled up outside the front, walked in the door and was like, babe, I've got something you need to meet. She thought I bought a dog. She come outside, bright orange roof, blue on the outside, like just loads of mental features. Like the arches at the back were like gaps like that, and at the front they were like that. So it was sort of angled like
a diagonal,
45 degrees, nose down. Like I don't know why, but make it a bit more streamlined maybe. But like, she was like, "What is that?" Like that is a crazy, because I had a nice car before that.
Why did you have to get rid of your car to get that?
Slung it, like got rid. Well, don't need both, do I?
No, I was going to say, sorry, is that why the logo is orange and blue?
Orange and blue, yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, because of my van. But yeah, she was like, sick, yeah, nice one. And then I just said to her, look, it felt right. CD popped out, whatever else. We went on a first camping trip, and I just said, we'll give it a blast out. We dragged it all the way down to like Torquay area, Devon, Cornwall, and whatnot.
Is that like 6 hours drive then?
Yeah, from where we are.
Yeah.
Caught behind a couple of like bad traffic. Yeah, it's probably closer to 7 or 8.
I was going to say, like, if like, did you take turn driving, or was it just you? Just
me.
I was going to say, because she could go and have a lie down in the back country and just fucking snooze, mate. That's mega.
In fairness, she's a good driver, but I didn't trust her with it. Day one.
Fair enough.
Fair.
But we got down there anyway, and it just felt right. Do you know what I mean? And it was like, anyway, it was on the way back, and we didn't have a breakdown, but I pulled into some services, just went for a coffee and a piss probably or something, and as I come out, there was like steam coming off the bonnet.
What?
And I was like, oh no, like, you know, poured all my dad's money that he's given me into this van. If it's like on fire when I come out of the car park, I'm going to be mortified. Pot the bonnet, nothing wrong with it. It was just the sheer fact that it gets a bit hot, and you know my coolant wasn't up top or whatever. And we took it a bit easy on the way home. And the missus said to me something like, "Just bang it on a forum." I was like, "Yeah, okay." So I went on this massive national VW forum, 10,000 people. Me posting as Jase, 1.9 T4, so-and-so mileage. Should the bonnet be as hot, you know, driving from here to here sort of thing, as it is? Just probably about 20 or 30 comments from blokes going, piss off on Google, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, whatever. And I thought the camper community was quite a, you know, help each other out.
Yeah.
Especially Volkswagens, they all absolutely buzz off it. So I put that, and anyway, got shot down. There was maybe one guy who was like, yeah, it's fine, mate, don't be a dick, keep driving. I said to my missus, just as a social experiment, because she's obviously infinitely prettier than I am.
Yeah. She posted it.
Yeah. I said, go in a different group, similar sort of size, 10,000 people, copy and paste my status, bang it in there. She had fucking offers of like coming around and fixing it there and then, do you know what I mean?
Jesus.
Like, yeah. And like, she was like, oh, someone's posted saying try this trick and, you know, coolant and whatever. I was like, fucking hell, dogs, a lot of you. Do you know what I mean? And that's sort of what kicked it off. She was like, look, you've got a real good shot. You're really good at the social side of things. You know your law, your legislation. If you want to go for a festival and, you know, camp outs and whatever else, you're quite good at sort of rallying people together and getting your mates on board with some stuff. If there's a good scene back home, you know, you want to find those people that are helpful rather than the 30 or 40 idiots.
True.
And when we got home, I just didn't know which garage to take it to. You know, when you get that sort of, oh, it's going to be expensive, that, mate. Do you know what I mean? Like, and they'll pull your pants down because you ain't got a clue what you're talking about. You're like, just fix my van.
You had this with your tyres, didn't they?
Yeah.
Just fix it. I don't know what I'm talking about. Just here's a load of cash. Like, I wanted to know what I was talking about, but I wanted to know from people that I trusted.
Yeah.
So it started that little community of maybe 5 or 6 of us all talking about our vans in a group chat, and then it was 10, then it was 20, and I said, look, I bought my van because of my dad, and everyone, I think, then didn't want to rip me off locally, or to my face at least, because of the sentimental meaning behind it.
Definitely.
And I think then everybody that I've spoken to since has kind of got a reason for one. Do you know what I mean? So if not very similar, if not, I've retired and I've always regretted not being travelling more or not doing a bit for myself and that self-care and taking care of yourself. Do you know what I mean? And so everyone's kind of got those reasons. And we've ended up with this real eclectic group of, there's young families who've got toddlers and kids, right through to pensioners who've got like the motorhome style, right through to your boy racers. There's every walk of life in it, and I just find that really cool. And hopefully something that my dad's kind of looking down on and going, do you know what? When he turns his hand to something, he's all right at it. Do you know what I mean?
100%, mate. 100%.
Even proud of it by one little bit, then I've done my job, haven't I? So sort of how it kicked off, really. But
so did your dad not obviously know anything about what you've done with the whole Clee W stuff and all the festival stuff, everything like that? Is that all?
He passed away before I got the van.
Wow, that's mad. He'll definitely be fucking proud of you. Then he'll be buzzing.
That was going to be my sort of next question, being like, internally, do you think he'd be proud of you?
I'd hope so, but he'd probably be like, get over yourself and. You know what I mean? Like, he'd probably be like, "Oh, go book a bigger band or something, mate." Or
Like, shit that band, mate. Why did you go for that one?
I booked a Bon Jovi tribute last year to headline. They killed it, and I loved it. It was ace. But I'm not really a massive Bon Jovi fan, but like I just knew a few tunes. But one of the guys in the band is in Clee W, so he was like, "Oh,
no way."
I was like, "Well, yeah, your books, get in." And he just did it as a favour. And he absolutely smashed it. And then when I was going through my dad's old records, he had You Give Love a Bad Name on vinyl. And I was like, oh, maybe I heard it when I was a kid. Do you know what I mean? Subliminally, maybe I thought, oh, Bon Jovi's a good booking, do you know what I mean? And stuff like that. So, yeah, just little weird things like that. I'd hope he'd be kind of like proud of it. If he's not, fuck him.
Well, it's not like he can do much about it. Fucking hell.
It's my thing, not his.
It's true.
I was going to ask as well, just on the vans, because I was thinking it the other day, this is before I even remembered that we had you on the pod, but I was thinking the other day, I'd love to get a fucking van like that. Like you said, and just fuck my car off and have that, and just set the fucking family out or whatever. Just go to like beaches or like around the UK or whatever and just stay over and have campfires and shit. Like, how much would one set you back, like on average? Are you talking about 10 grand or?
Now, probably, yeah, because lockdown really did it over.
Like shut up?
Yeah, I got mine pre-lockdown for about 5 grand. The same van now will probably cost you about 9 or 10.
Wow, that's mad.
Just, as soon as the world couldn't travel, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
Staycations were massive, do you know what I mean? And it absolutely skyrocketed in price. There's a really, really decent one around here now, but it's 20 years old and they're asking 11 grand for it.
Fucking hell.
But it's kitted out, don't get me wrong. Double gas hob, rock and roll bed that obviously turns it from sofa to a bed. Seat belts in that, and you name it, it's got it basically. Do you know what I mean? But it's the only thing I'd say, if Jay, if you ever do it, is try and get out of the mindset of like the mileage.
Yeah.
Because car mileage,
different.
I always got told anything 100,000 plus is just scary.
Yeah.
With vans, they're meant to kind of like go up and down the country.
Yeah.
So it's not uncommon to hear of like 200,000, 300,000 miles
right.
on a van.
Okay.
Mine's got 145,000 on it, and it's everybody on forums is like, mate, that's not even broken in. Yeah, a guy's going to buy one this week, I think, who's got 180. He texted me earlier actually saying, Jesus, that's a big number. Well, it's not, mate. Like,
no way.
As long as it's well maintained, it's fine.
Yeah. How much would he be buying that for, roughly?
Be about 10.
Wow, that's mad.
Yeah, be about 10.
That's proper
if
mad.
You get a later model, like the VW-T5, 20, 30 upwards.
Fucking hell. Have you seen the new? I'm guessing you have, but the new electric ones.
Yeah.
What do you think? What do you think of them?
Yeah, it makes me vomit.
Does it? I was just going to say I think they're sick then.
Oh, they're horrible. What I don't understand is why, like, back in the day, they've got a shape that everyone loves.
Yeah.
The classic campers. Just take that shape, put an electric engine in it.
Are they actually? I've not like looked at them enough to be fair, but have they actually changed the shape from the classic kind of shape?
Yeah, it looks like it looks like a Star Wars droid. It's like it's weird. Like, I just don't get it. I don't understand why they can't just keep the shape.
Yeah.
And be like, right, the chassis is different internally, and it takes an electric engine now. Do you know what I mean? I mean, I'm no expert clearly, but like, just if something works and everyone falls in love with that shape.
100%.
What I've always said with VWs and why I went for it is you walk in most shops like Peacocks or Primark or TK Maxx, I can almost guarantee you'll see a VW t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, you might see the odd like Ford Mustang or Fiesta or some bits, but in the main, VW is everywhere. Like, you just sit in Asda, saying all the clothing sections there. There's got to be a reason, and they're all the classic shapes. My one's not on the t-shirts because it's not a classic. But do you know what I mean? It's like that one that you sent me.
Oh yeah,
that orange and white one. Is that classic? Like, yeah,
that's a classic shape. Yeah, 60s, 70s, that sort of classic shape. Big V on the front, big badge, split screen windows. Do you know what I mean? Stuff like that.
I always call them like mystery machines, from Scooby Doo.
Yeah,
yeah. That's more like my.
Is it really? No way.
Yeah. But I just don't get it. I just don't know why they don't just like dick about and like I don't know, just go for it. Do you know what I mean? But keep the shape and just stick an electric engine in it. But like I say, I don't work for Volkswagen, so
I bet it'd be the dream job. That
must be a branded decision behind it. But I think I'd hate it. I think I'd honestly like it. When it comes to, I said a joke the other day that like my dream job would be to write adverts for telly, because you just see adverts and you're like, I can do better than that.
Yeah.
Like me and my mates come up with funnier stuff than that on a daily. So I don't think Volkswagen would hire me any day soon.
Well, not if you listen to this.
Yeah.
Don't know, mate. They might see your big fucking cult following that you've got for CW.
Yeah.
But yeah. So I was just going to say, just in terms of like the questions we've got wrote down, so I wanted to ask you another question, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I was going to say, like, I know again we touched on this briefly before we hit record, but like throughout like the struggles and everything, that you went through, like with your dad and stuff like that. Who would you say, if you could pick one person, or it could be more than one person, like who's the person that you say would, got you through this like really like difficult patch, or people? It can be more than one.
I think it would have to be more than one, because I think it'd be wildly unfair on the others to say that they didn't help.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It is a multifaceted kind of approach. It kind of has to be in a way. Do you know what I mean? Unless you live a lifestyle of like a hermit where there's only one person in your life kind of stuff. Your modern life is so many different social circles, isn't it?
Yeah.
Your friends, your workmates, if you've got a counsellor or whatever, or family obviously, and things like that. So yeah, the missus was absolutely amazing. Even if in the years down the line we didn't work out, I would never ever say a bad word about her in that time of my life, because it was just
so good.
Yeah, she just knew what I needed and knew what to say. And
did you say you'd only been with her like a short period of time as well before your dad passed?
It's probably like a year and a half, but
yeah,
that in terms of my shifts and stuff, it was difficult to always kind of like get out for a meal with my dad, and when he had cancer treatment and stuff, and yeah, so like years ago, he probably would have been around every weekend and had coffee and that stuff. But yeah, we've been together probably about a year and a half at that time. But looking back, it was more that I was dead grateful they got the chance to meet, and like he would understand who I've chosen to be with, kind of thing, and that he liked her. Because he definitely told me when he didn't like my ex-girlfriends.
Yeah.
To make his opinion known.
Yeah. But yeah, definitely her. Obviously, my mates that I've alluded to were obviously like with the sort of savage banter, but also, just being there for me and coming out for a drink when you needed it. My dad said this thing that he would expect when he passed away. He would fully expect a bit of mourning for a couple of weeks, have a funeral, but then what he wanted was the funeral was kind of like obviously a sad day, what you class as a sad day, and the very next day, like a happy funeral is kind of what he called it. So like basically just go out and get hammered.
Yeah.
But smile, laugh, joke, turn it on its head basically. And I really like that approach to it actually, because it helped me massively. So actually my dad was probably one of the people that helped me through it, do you know what I mean? In a weird way.
That's so good.
Yeah, but one of my friends has never drank since that night because it was just lethal.
Since that night, he's gone, I'm never drinking again, and actually followed through with it.
She came out, right, and we met up at Wetherspoons in town. Other bars also available. And we just started, and there was probably, I put the word out, and there was probably 50, 60 people that turned up. And I was like, I'm on it tonight. I don't think I bought a round, like, let's face it, like,
well
which
played.
is also great.
Yeah, winner.
But we've got this pub in Grimsby called the Barge, literally a barge, a boat, and it's on the water. So when you go in, you already feel pissed. There's just like rocking about it. And shout out the Barge, by the way.
Yeah, shout out the Barge.
And we went in. They used to sell green Chartreuse. Have you heard of it? Absinthe.
Yeah, I've heard of Absinthe. Yeah.
Oh.
Absinthe. So there's this brand called Green Chartreuse.
Right.
Real disgusting, like high, like 85%, whatever. And my dad used to love it, absolutely love it. Don't know why. Burn your insides kind of drink.
What did he have, like absinthe on the rocks? kind of thing.
Mate, my dad was lethal.
Whoa.
My dad, honestly, if he could have had it on his cereals, like.
Oh my god! Did it like make you hallucinate and shit?
Oh yeah. Yeah. Do you know Eyeball Paul from Kevin and Perry?
Yeah.
Yeah. My dad would have had it on his cornflakes if he could have done. Socially frowned upon, so he didn't. But anyway, we got into the barge and we were all battered by this point. And she turned around to the barmaid and she went, "Sorry to hear about your dad. This was his favourite drink." And she got the bottle and she just cleared it out into shot glasses. And there was probably about 25, 30 shots on the bar. Because there was still like 30, 40 of us out. And I went, right, one each then. A couple of people dodged it, which meant that my best mate's wife was stood there with 5 shots in front of her. And she went, "Well, I loved your dad, thought he was great, so down the hatch."
Oh,
bang,
oh
bang.
No.
Did all 5. I mean, one was enough to put me in hospital, like, way back when. Like, she did 5. And honest, this is God's honest truth. She has not touched a drop of alcohol since.
Wow.
She woke up the next day. She looked like a Dementor from Harry Potter. She was honestly, I've never seen somebody so rough. Like, she looked like bloody Vinnie Jones had done a number on her. She was bad in a bad way, and yeah, she's never drank since, which I thank my dad for. But yeah. Yeah, just all those people that came out and, like, supported me through that time and was there for me. I had workmates that offered to kind of do shifts for me, if I just needed that space. I do remember when I got back to work, I actually got sent to, like, a dead body job. Like, I'm not saying it was the first, but maybe like the second or third day back I was at work. And I'd been to see my dad laying to rest and stuff, so get back to work, trying to get back in that mindset. And they tried to send me to a dead body job.
Wow.
And I was kind of like stiff upper lip, like brave face.
Yeah.
And I was going to go. I was actually going to go because I thought, it's my job. It's my duty. I've got to go. And I was on my way out the door. My mate just grabbed me on the shoulder and just drove me back in the office and went, sit down. And he went for me. And he was busy that day. Like, he had a lot on. And he just went, no, sit down.
Oh, what a guy. Fair play.
Just jumped in. But I mentioned a minute ago about counsellor. Because at that time, I probably never actually spoke about this really, other than to this person. But it was a note that I thought, actually, I respect you boys, what you're doing, so actually I would talk about it. But my dad passed away, and then obviously the weeks and afterwards leading up to the funeral and, that hammered night out, do you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. I was kind of fine. Like, because you've got stuff to do, you've got stuff to look forward to in a way. Not look forward to, that sounds like it's positive, it's not. You've got things to aim at.
You've got stuff scheduled, keeping your mind occupied, yeah.
Yeah, like you've got to book this, or you've got to sort home insurance out, or like his life insurance. Sorry, you've got to do X, Y, and Z on this date and this date and this date. So I was kind of fine because I had structure. I've been so used to that. I've been so used to right. Here's where you're heading, sort of thing. And the thing I probably never actually anybody told anybody is I probably had like what you'd class as a breakdown. I don't call it a breakdown because I didn't feel like I had a breakdown, but just like a fuse went in my head, it like popped. Basically, the day I was going back to work, I got up at normal time, showered, sorted myself out, come down, had absinthe for my cereal, and just left the house, got in my car, because I still had my car at the time, got in my car, and honestly, I cannot remember. I was saying that was 7:30, starting work at 8 o'clock in the morning. I got in my car, and I cannot remember between then and 9:45. But at 9:45, I was still sat in my car at the front of my house. I just can't remember it.
Wow.
It's like I got in the car, and I just forgot how to drive. I forgot, like, normal life. Do you know what I mean? I just forgot everything that you should be able to do. And it was only at that point that I kind of like, it must have hit me. I've described it a couple of times. It must have hit me of like, right, that's that chapter gone now.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? This is the point that you kind of got to put that behind you. And it just must have hit me like a wave or, like a brick to the face. And I just stopped. And I must have been sat in my car like that. Anybody who walked past was probably like, what a weirdo. And the next thing I know, it was 9:45 and I had 35 missed calls and a ton of texts because I should have been at work at 8.
Yeah.
So all my workmates obviously thought I'd crashed on the way into work or whatever. And I rang my gaffer and I was like, I'll be in a minute. And I went to work and I just went in my sergeant's office and just cried. And I was like, I can't do this today. I don't know what it is. I just don't feel like I can put it behind me. She was like, go home, do what you need to do. I'll sort it, sort of thing. Real supportive. But yeah, that moment, I just knew I wasn't right. Do you know what I mean? Like everybody in the couple of weeks between my dad dying and that day was probably looking at me going, he's handling this quite well.
Yeah.
He's done the eulogy, he's ripped everyone a new one in the eulogy, like he's done this, like he's fine, like that's so weird. And then that day it was like I'd closed that chapter,
yeah,
and that was enough to like blow a fuse in my head, and something cracked, and I know it did. And work put me forward for a counsellor, but it was a counsellor who straight away said, right, you've only got 6 sessions, by the way, because they're paid for by the job. So in my head, I was like, oh, right, well, what if I'm not fixed by 6 sessions?
Puts a bit of pressure on it, doesn't it?
It's a weird thing to say at the start.
No, it is, definitely.
Yeah, massively. I was just like, right, well, by 3 or 4 then I should see some progress, sort of thing. I've got to sum up 33 years of my life and like fix it by this point. And yeah, it just didn't work for me. I went and got some private counselling, and again, the guy was quite not laissez-faire, but he was dead chilled, and I kind of need that. I need lads like yourself that like give it a bit back or interact or
Yeah.
Just one of them guys was going, yeah, and how does that make you feel?
Yeah, classic.
Like, oh, piss off, mate. So the woman, I don't actually know her name because I've totally forgotten it, and that is so bad of me because she was absolute legend. The woman who actually was my counsellor that I would say helped was the other ones I don't think were because they either didn't know enough about me to kind of care, or they knew. So like the job one, when I was trying to explain things about the job, she already knew them. So I was sort of saying stuff and I was like, no, but you don't understand, like I can't do that job. And she's like, well, why? It's a dead simple job. And you're like, yeah, I'm trying to break it down as to why I can't do that. Like, or I don't feel like I can do that at the minute. And she was like, well, you have to go on restricted duties then, and blah, blah. And I'm like, but I don't need that either. Do you know what I mean? I just need that guy to grab me on the shoulder and go, you're not to that job. You can go catch a burglar.
Yeah.
Or you want. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's a weird one. But the woman she worked at the hospice where my dad was for the last sort of his palliative care, his end-of-life care. So she didn't know me. She didn't know what I did. She didn't know my personal life, but she knew my dad. And she knew, like, what my dad had been through, that process. It was kind of a real nice half and half. Do you know what I mean? It was like she had a lot of knowledge about some of the stuff and the questions that I had around that side of things. But then she actually she asked real open questions, real sort of like, oh, right, well, your dad always like mentioned you, and, he said that he was super proud of you and blah, blah, blah. And mention things outside of the job. So she'd go like, oh, your dad said that you're going to buy a camper van. What are you thinking? Do you know what I mean? And before you know it, you've had like 20 minutes chat about camper vans rather than my dad's sickness. Do you know what I mean? And she was just ace. And if I'm honest, like, if it wasn't for her, some of the stuff that I wanted answering probably would never have answered.
Wow.
Just process and stuff like that. The one thing I'm referring to there, and I don't know if it's a spanner in the works for the NHS or what, and I love what they do. I think it's great service, great institution. But my dad got told 5 times that he wouldn't see the weekend out. Like, he'd be dead before the weekend finished on like a Friday.
Right.
And that was over the course of a year. So, like, can you imagine on a Friday? The first time it happened on a Friday, this nurse come up and went, family, can you all come in the room, sort of thing. Like, you've declined a little bit, so we think it's best you say your goodbyes. And we were like, you may as well just kick me in the chin, do you know what I mean? It's like, slap me in the chest with a hammer type stuff. And, yeah, real horrible conversation. Visited Monday morning, my dad sat upright, drinking a beer and having an ice cream. I was like, what the hell, you're meant to be dead. He went, no, can't get rid of me that easily, sort of thing. A couple of months later, family in the room, we don't think, he's declined, we don't think he'll see the weekend out. And I went,
we'll see.
Are you sure? Are you sure this time? She was like, yeah, look at the stats and this and the other. So I was like, right, crying again, like, Dad, fucking hell, like, bad times. And then Monday morning, he hid in a bloody wardrobe and popped out on me.
Oh, no. My God.
Yeah. On stands with the drip on, the bag with the drip on it?
Yeah.
The reason I knew my dad was hiding in that bloody cupboard is because that stand was next to it. The bag was going into the cupboard.
What a fucking savage.
Honestly. And he just pops out and he went, not dead. I was like, oh, fucking hell.
That's top tier stuff, that is. That's so good.
But then that happened a 3rd time, 4th time.
Fucking hell, that's emotionally draining, that, innit?
Massive, absolutely massive. And imagine if I was like a bit more and my dad were a bit more like emotional about things every time, you'd have ruined people's lives on every occasion. Did the first, probably the second, and I'm coming away telling all my mates, like, they've said this, do you know what I mean, and blah, blah. The third and fourth time, my dad got a little book out and went, "We're taking bets this time. What are you saying?" Like, like 2-1, I'll give you 2-1, I'm dead by Monday, like, sort of thing.
Jesus.
It was just a joke by that point.
Yeah.
It was like, it's just a phrase that they're throwing out there. So I had a question. I complained to the matron. I was like, look, if I'd have done that in the police, can you imagine if I did something similar in the police? I would get absolutely battered with a complaint, dragged over the hot coals. I'd probably lose my job for some things like that.
Yeah.
So I made a complaint to the matron, and I had this question of, why do they do that? Why do they have that process? Can someone explain to me the dotting the I's and crossing the T's of them saying that phrase? Nobody could, except for my counsellor, who worked at the hospice. And she went, the reason they say it is arse covering.
Yeah.
That is literally
That'd
the reason
be my
they say
first
it.
guess.
Yeah, it's such a difficult science, a difficult thing to nail down as when someone's going to die. If somebody went, "Oh, how long have I got, doc?" They went, 48 hours. Like, you'd be like watching your clock, wouldn't you? And you'd be like counting down to it. So me and my dad used to have conversations like, would you, if you could know the time of your death, would you? All them sort of things. And I'm like, but you're being told that. So Monday morning must feel like a free day. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, bonus time, yeah.
Like an extra time sort of thing, do you know what I mean? But yeah, I mean, my dad, by the sounds of it, was well into Fergie time when he... Oh, God. Like, I think Solskjaer did him a favour, and, he was... It was just one of the questions that I just kept having, and nobody could answer it. And she said it's just arse covering. It's just that if he died that weekend and they hadn't told you that,
yeah,
do you know what I mean? Like, you didn't get to say your goodbyes. That for them is worse than the other way around.
I suppose. Yeah,
I get that, but you could say that. You could say that now. Do you know what I mean? Like,
true, you could.
My mum's not sick. Oh, she could die tomorrow. Get hit by a bus. Do you know what I mean? Like, so that for me just kind of ties into this. Make sure you're telling the people you love that you love them, being present in the day, do you know what I mean, and all that sort of stuff, and sending care packages to lads that are doing good shit.
That's mega. And have you only got one son? You got one child, yeah?
Yeah, one's enough at the minute.
One's enough.
Not tell me about it.
How old is he?
He's 2.5, but good God, he's like, he may as well be 13.
Really?
He just climbed up on the sofa yesterday, sofa arm, and just jumped off and just went, "Way!" Just shouted he was Spider-Man, and then no cushions, no nothing.
Was he alright?
Yeah, binned it. Well, he got up, yeah, he got up, so. But yeah, just coming full circle into what I was talking about postponing the festival.
Oh yeah, shit, yeah.
Is because of my son. Basically, long story short, he needs heart surgery this year.
Oh wow!
Yeah, so he's got AVSD, which I didn't know what it was. Basically, it's similar to like hole in the heart, but it's a couple of little complications about the way the blood flows and stuff like that. And he's referred to Leeds Hospital, and Leeds for us is about an hour and a half away.
Yeah, same.
So he's under them for care. He'll need surgery at some point this year. And the festival itself, the last 2 years, has been immense, don't get me wrong, and I've loved every second of it. But it is a lot of work. The whole paperwork, all the finances, just sorting everything out. It's a big task in. And what I was saying there about kind of like being present and stuff, do you know what I mean? Could I, hand on heart, really be present with my son in hospital this year if I might get text from food vendors going, "Oh, what time are we allowed in on the Saturday?" And Saturday, I'm like, well, yeah. So his surgery and his aftercare, it might not clash with when I wanted to do the festival, but it definitely clashes obviously with the prep and the organisation. So I just took the decision that is priority. Obviously, don't get me wrong. If he comes out the other side of it and he grows up, and I will hold it against him massively. He will know about it, but hopefully there'll be a day where he can help me organise one, and he'll understand kind of the enjoyment you get out of it and seeing that community. So I don't think I am gutted not to throw it this year, but gutted for the right reasons, I suppose.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? But it's one of them where the whole community, again, and even local businesses have said, right choice, mate, we'll be here in 2025 if you want us.
100%.
Yeah, and I think next year, if I haven't got all this stress of, my son's surgery and stuff hanging over me, I can really throw my heart and soul back into the festival and grow it again, do you know what I mean?
Yeah, maybe you can do 2 next year. Do like a pre-one in like April and then do one in like August or something.
It's people like you, Jay, that get me into shit.
Oh, shit, yeah.
Well, we'll be keeping our eyes out, won't we? We'll definitely go.
Definitely. But no, first and foremost, I hope everything goes well with your son like that. That's definitely the right call.
100%.
Yeah, cheers. I mean, everyone's saying that Leeds is an amazing children's hospital. Do you know what I mean? It's like second in the country, or maybe third, like Sheffield and Great Ormond Street and places like that. They all do an immense job, don't they? But I'll also have shitting myself about it. I think that's pretty fair to say.
That's a given, isn't it?
Really candid sort of conversations with my mates about it all, and obviously the family's like wounded. But even the day that we found out he had a heart problem and got told he'll need surgery, I was at work. My missus rang me, and she was like, beaming down the phone. You can imagine like that level of fucking chaos. And she was like, he needs surgery. I couldn't even understand what she was saying. And I just ran out of work. I come home. And we had a family round. There was the neighbours come round. Like everyone kind of like descended on our house. And it felt like a wake. Do you know what I mean? It felt like a funeral.
Yeah.
And everyone was real sombre and like Mardy. But not Mardy, sad. And then my lad walked in with a guitar upside down above his head going, It was like probably exactly what we needed, do you know what I mean? But yeah, he'll probably bounce back from it and he'll be fine and he'll be Spider-Man jumping off the sofa again before we know it. But as you know, with kids, it's just different. It hits different, doesn't it?
Yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
Nothing like it. That's mad. But I know you said you had loads of notes and that. Is there anything else on your notes?
Have you covered everything? Everything ticked off?
I was ticking that one off, yeah. Sorry, did you catch me ticking it off?
No,
sorry.
Well, just from previous episodes and stuff, there was a bit of like, I've said that like throwing the festival a little bit of like feeling of like imposter syndrome.
Yeah.
Because it was a big level, didn't actually know if I could achieve it, or whether you're doing it, even starting CleeW, because I didn't know about engines and stuff. I didn't know about a lot of the stuff, that feeling of imposter syndrome, quite prevalent with me, I'd say. And I know it's something you guys have spoke about with this, but I do think sometimes, you don't always have to be like an expert in something to be involved in it.
Yeah, definitely.
Got the passion and the sort of drive to talk about it. Drive's obviously a Volkswagen pun. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
No, but like you boys, do you know what I mean? Like if you haven't gone and got like mental health qualifications, or you've not been a doctor for 30 years, it doesn't matter. You've been through some stuff. It's all relevant and supportive to sort of being positive about the topic, isn't it? And,
yeah.
I think with like the festival, I've just had that massive kind of like imposter syndrome, whether people actually believe in what I'm doing and stuff. So yeah, I was just going to mention sort of bits like that, really. But
I suppose though, if you do anything new, like in life, anything new, you are an imposter because it's something new in it. So it's not exactly a bad thing to feel like an imposter because you can't get away from it if it's something new. Like if you start a new job, like end on the Friday, start a new job on the Monday, you're an imposter. And then you gradually like shed that skin, don't you?
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I think with a lot of the stuff like that, and when you actually just give things a go and find some stuff out, you very quickly, like you say, you sort of end up being a little bit of I was going to say master, but that's probably the wrong word. Knowledgeable on that subject, because you live in it, you breathe in it. Nobody, a doctor of mental health for 30 years could tell me one thing, and I'm like, well, that's great, but that didn't apply to my situation.
Yeah.
But it's really unhealthy to crack jokes about your dead dad, but do you know what I mean?
That helped me.
Well, that helped me, mate, and it still does to this day, so do one. Do you know what I mean? Like, there might be a day where that catches up with me in the future. Who knows? But, you can't live like that. You've got to live in a way that, like, helps you right this second, don't you? So, I think I bundle through life, maybe feeling like a bit of an imposter at work sometimes, like people look up to me and stuff, but I'm just a regular guy, just doing a regular job as I see it. And if people come up to me and ask me a question that they expect me to know, because you're in the police, I've just lost that filter a bit over the last few years, where I try and bullshit my way through it, or be a bit, this knowledge I know, blah blah blah. Don't do that anymore. I just go, do you know what? Don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know the answer. What we'll do though is give you contact details. I'll find out, or I'll find someone who knows, or I'll research it myself, and I'll get back to you. And I think that's why a lot of people at work, maybe, hopefully, like working with me, or like the public don't mind me sort of policing their area and stuff, because I just don't really like want to be known as a chancer. Do you know what I mean? I just be known as a nice dude who help you if you need it.
Yeah, stand up bloke.
You know what I mean? So yeah, I did make notes, because on previous episodes you've asked like some really weird questions, and I'll be honest, like I hate getting caught out with stuff, because if I just off the top of my head, if you asked me like 3 dinner party guests,
oh yeah,
I'd be like, oh my god, I'd probably come up with some right crap answers. So I made notes.
So have you picked 3 dinner guests?
Yeah.
Yeah, there's 3 written down
right,
here.
Go on,
like,
hit us.
There's an advert at the minute where like a load of adults choose like loads of celebrities and stuff, but the kids choose their parents.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Have you seen it? So just not to be cheesy, I've chosen my son. But I've also written down Stuart Pearce.
Nice.
Yeah, Stuart Pearce has got to be in there. Quentin Tarantino, 100%.
Yeah.
And if I booted my lad out, I would replace him with Kelly from Block Party.
Kelly from Block Party? Is that
Block Party?
Is that a band?
Band, yeah.
I'm not going to pretend that I know who they are. I was just a guess.
I could absolutely guarantee you'll know a couple of tunes. They're on adverts and stuff like that. It's a bit of a 90s, sort of early 2000s band, indie, and he's a lead singer, basically. Check him out.
Okay. Yeah, we will do, definitely.
I used to blog for a music website way back when, so like push sort of new bands and stuff like that, and recommend a lot of bands and things. Just found quite a lot of like solace in that, like had a heavy couple of days at work and then go watch a gig or something and write a cheeky little review about bands and things. So yeah, Block Party was the one that I always kind of just like gravitated to. I can almost guarantee you'll hear like Banquet and you'll go, yeah, of course.
This is one of them that you're going to be like, you never knew the name of the band, but you know the song.
Let us have a look.
Let's do a little search now on Spotify.
So, Block.
You can get our reaction to it now.
Banquet. There it is. Block Party with no K.
With no K, yeah.
C. So Block Party. Their most played song
Banquet.
is Banquet. So if I drop it now
Let's do
on
it.
the pod.
Drop it like it's hot.
And if you don't know it, then shame on you.
Yeah, shame. I feel pressure now.
There we go. Oh no, I do. I know it. He doesn't know it.
I don't know it.
I know it. It reminds. It's like you said. It's like indie-ish, and I swear I've heard it on a fucking episode of In Between Us or something. Like I've definitely heard it though.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, it's a tune.
Early 2000s, kind of Arctic Monkeys, Bot Party,
100%.
Libertines, Sabian, that sort of era. But Bot Party, they're still on. Dropped on like adverts now. There's an EE advert, I think it is, that plays like So Here We Are or This Modern Love's quite a... Hey, have you seen Saltburn, by the way?
Yeah. Sick, innit?
What part is it now?
No way.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when he's walking down in the school the stairs or something, there's a Bot Party tune.
Oh yeah, I thought he was going to say at the end when he's getting about naked through the house and it's a murder on the dance floor. Was that Block Party?
Imagine if it was.
No, it's, I wish they'd play Bot Party at the end. It's more but just Sophie Ellis Bextor's reaction. Like, he chose Bot Party over me for the swinging his thing around.
Swinging his absolute Anton around.
Do you reckon that's actually his real dick?
I don't know. I mean, if it is,
because it's bald, that innit? Just getting about with his little pecker out.
Apparently.
I read online that it was.
No way.
Yeah, I read, and do you know the graveyard scene?
Yeah.
I read that was improvised.
Yeah, I read that. He said it in an interview, didn't he? He looked at the director and said, "Can I just go with it?" And I think it might have been a guy. He was like, "Yeah, do it." And just sort of like whipped his knob outside, showing the soil. Imagine that being improvised, going, "What the fuck, Barry? What you doing, mate? Thought this was the next move for my character. Want to shag the fucking soil, mate?"
It's just like little Doris, who's like the tea lady or something.
Oh
no! What's he doing?
It's so funny.
Make him stop.
Yeah, but
he's nearly finished.
I just made some notes about how like. Some of the previous episodes, you boys have spoke about some real heavy topics and some bits and stuff. So I didn't want to come on and just be like half-assed, do you know what I mean? And just be one of them guests for you that goes, "Oh yeah, I've been through some stuff."
No, we massively appreciate that.
Whatever. But you said something to someone an episode I was listening to the other day, and he was like, "Oh, it's always really, really appreciated when guests obviously share some stuff that's really difficult to share." I suppose in a way, like I'm not like closed off person. You know what I mean? I would sort of share with friends and family. You know, I would talk about some stuff, but in a way, I'm kind of falling into that bracket a little bit where I want to be. You know, I'm sort of seen as like a dad now and a sort of figure where my friends sort of lean on me to support them. And it's not that I wouldn't talk to them about some stuff. I would, and I probably have. But I find a bit of like happiness, I suppose, in like only sharing when I need to.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like I just kind of bundling through life, not keeping it right at the forefront of your mindset every day, because I think you'd go mad.
100%.
If every day I was worried about my lad's surgery or missing my dad or wherever it might be, or some real horrific jobs I've been to in the police, if you keep them at the front all the time, you'd be super stressed on daily. Do you know what I mean? Getting up like just panicked and horrible stuff. So I didn't want to come on and be one of them guests that was like, yeah, I've been through some things and I help my mates and blah, blah, blah. I thought, actually, I'm so proud of you. I don't know you two boys, but obviously been chatting and stuff. I'd go as far as say I'm proud of you two boys for what you're doing and that. And yeah, if I'm not saying anyone's listening to me sort of going, oh yeah, I relate with that, or yeah, I can understand what's been through, but even just sort of like understanding that everyone deals with some big stuff differently is
defo, yeah.
Yeah, big deal to me, do you know what I mean? And everyone's different, aren't they? Everyone deals differently. So, yeah, that's me. Not summed up into a nutshell.
No, mate.
Summed up into nearly 2 hours.
Well, mate, you've smashed it, and we fucking loved having you on.
Absolutely loved it.
I love that you've obviously come prepared, mate, and that makes it fucking easier for us. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, well, shout out to future guests to do that, please.
No, but honestly, mate, like, just thank you so much for coming on, and like you said, just opening up, like, you know, because like you said, everyone goes through different shit, and you know, losing your dad has obviously been a fucking really difficult time for you, and it's mint how you've handled it, and I think everything you've turned it into with Clee W, and you know, just from getting the van and then making a massive festival and all shit like that, and then like you said, just even how you're handling the situation now with your son, because a lot of people would be really struggling with that, and yeah, just thank you for coming on. We're honoured to have you. You're a proper top guy, mate.
Yeah, been mega.
Cheers to that.
Cheers to that, boys.
Cheers for me.
Oh, you've got your docs. I didn't see.
Oh, yeah.
I didn't see you.
Yeah.
We had the other two the other day.
Yeah, we smashed the other two the other day. Where's that camera gone? I'm on that craft
lager, that one. I had the session the other day. The session was
might have to edit this out, really, because that's not a fucking 52, is it?
It doesn't matter, mate. We've got no, it doesn't matter. We're not fucking exclusive to it.
Shout out Beer 52.
Beer 52.
Oh yeah, you actually ordered Beer 52s, didn't you?
Yeah, I did a couple.
Yeah.
I got the thing from you boys, and I thought I'll do one more because I got the Northern Ireland collection, but I'll be honest, I'm trying to hit the gym and like get in a bit of better shape, so I might have to cancel it.
Fair play.
Fair dues.
That's the time, yeah.
Yeah. Although I am building a bar in my garden, so
swings and roundabouts.
Yeah, swings and roundabouts. It's a bit of oxymoron. Cancel the Beer 52 subscription, but build a bar. No, it's been cool. When you said about the what you're drinking feature and stuff, it's. I just thought Doc's Beers and Grimsby is like absolutely killing it round here for like putting Grimsby on the map a little bit with some big bands coming in now and stuff like that. So I just wanted to say, like, I know you boys have mentioned again on a previous episode about like you enjoy like a can with like some good graphics and stuff. So Doc's, like, I've done my beer seafronting with Doc's before. But it sold out because of the festival. We sold it at the festival and it just absolutely flew. But yeah, they're cool guys over there. So they do, I think I mentioned in text, they do like a monthly day, like an open house thing.
Yeah. I see you mentioned that.
Like a supporting mental health kind of come and chat about absolutely anything and everything, really. So yeah, they're doing some pretty cool stuff. So I always try to support them, buy a few beers, and I'll send you boys a couple of them if you wanted them, and yeah. No,
they were very welcome. They led to a pretty decent outing, didn't they? Yeah, last week.
Yeah. We had them last week, didn't we? The two of them. It was really nice.
Yeah,
decent stuff. If you're ever in Grimsby, let us know.
I'll holler at you. But I can't see. Are we passing through Grimsby anytime soon? I don't even know where it is.
We're going to Newcastle soon.
On a map.
That could be en route. Well, you said before. You said it's near like. Didn't you say like Hull and Doncaster? So is it like past Yorkshire kind of way? South Yorkshire?
Do you know where the River Humber is?
No, it rings a bell though.
If I had a map, there's Hull on the north of the River Humber, and then basically, like, if you was in Hull, you drive across the Humber Bridge, across the water, and then you're on our side. We're like,
all right.
Yeah, from you'd drive basically east. And if you get wet, you've gone too far.
Okay. That's a good rule of thumb, that, isn't it? Oh shit, we're in the sea. We've gone too far.
If you're in the sea, you're at Cleethorpes. But yeah, you don't really drive through. We're end of the train tracks type place.
Well, if you fall asleep on the train, you're like, you've reached the last destination.
Cleethorpes, yeah. Cleethorpes train station's got the bumpers.
Where they just stop flat.
Yeah, stop, nowhere else. That's it. Turn around and go home. But yeah, if you ever find yourself this way, lads, you're more than welcome. Give us a shout. If you ended up at Doc's Beers, we'd get a beer in.
100%.
Get to the badge.
Yeah, get to the badge. I can't. I've got PTSD.
Oh yeah. Don't invite your mate, the absinthe mate.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, it's been a pleasure, guys. I think unless you've got any random questions that I haven't answered, I've sort of gone through all my notes, I think. But
You got any random questions on the Dome, Jay?
Nah, mate, like, you smashed it.
Yeah, I've not got any random ones knocking around in my head either.
Oh, I'll tell you one thing I was going to mention, actually.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah, sorry.
No, I'm strapping in.
I wrote a joke down that said basically I agreed to come on to use you guys as free therapy. So that's always good to share that. And then there was only one more thing. I was actually going to ask your opinion on it more than actually talk about it, really. But you know, like, do you know this phrasing of when people say, "Oh, ring us if you need it,"
yeah,
or give us a shout if you need something. Like, what? I know it's a nice thing to say.
Yeah.
I know it's a really positive. Like, it's just a standard kind of like throw out comment, isn't it? Of you know, if you need out, I'm here for you. But when I was going through all the shit with my dad and that, sometimes that'd be like 2 a.m. I might need a lift to the hospital because I've had a beer. I know who I'd ring for that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Like, and I know who I wouldn't. But the people that would say, "Oh, ring me if you need anything," I always wonder, like, if you rang one. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
Your Auntie Doris or whatever's gone, "Oh, ring me if you need anything." Ring her at 2 a.m. 200 quid, a shovel, and no questions. What are you saying?
Do you know what I think? I might give you my opinion on that. I think it's similar to what the NHS did about that phrase about "is not going to make the weekend." I think people say that to cover their ass so they can say, "Oh, I said ring me if you need me," but they don't fucking mean it.
Yeah.
If you do ring them, they're like, "Oh, I've just put little Timmy to bed or whatever." They won't do it. But the people who you can ring it to in the morning when you've had a beer, you probably count on one hand.
Yeah.
If not less.
They probably don't need to say, like, I know if you need me.
There you go.
Yeah, exactly. Because one of my mates came out of a 14-year relationship, right? He was literally with his bird, like 14 years. They came as a package. And one day he just dropped in the lads group chat. All he said was, "SOS, me and the missus have split up." And literally everyone was like, "What?" Like, that is just, it just came out of nowhere.
Fucking hell.
And everyone was replying like, "Where are you? What are you doing?" Because it was at the level where obviously he could have done something stupid.
Yeah.
And he was like, "I'll go to this pub at this time, I'll meet you there." And we all turned up. And my son was maybe 3 months old. Like, and the missus was like doing night feed, do you know what I mean? And I went, "I've got to go." It's like, if I don't go, like, I will hate myself. The lads probably wouldn't mind. Do you know what I mean? They probably wouldn't care. Like, you've got a new baby. But I couldn't live with myself.
Yeah.
You know, if it's a mate that's like chopping and changing birds every weekend,
yeah, no big thing.
Innit?
Yeah.
But like you just said, Jay, he probably knew he wouldn't have to say. You know, we wouldn't have to say like, "Oh, give us a ring if you need anything." Do you know what I mean? He just knew that we'd be there, and rightly so, in my opinion. Do you know what I mean? Unless I was abroad or, you know, something wildly mental, then you make it, don't you? You put yourself out for your mates and stuff. But the one, I've got a mate who's a little girl. She's probably about 9 or 10 now, and she's had like epilepsy and some real difficult health problems. And he is really like down, like, you know, like savage banter, dead funny guy, salt of the earth, but would give you his last quid kind of bloke. And he said to me one day, "I'm not going to tell you that ring me if you need anything, because if you rang me at 10 p.m. and my girl's having an epilepsy fit, you can do one."
It's fair. Straight and narrow, that, isn't it?
With any issue, and I will tell you, "Really sorry, mate, I can't help." He said, "But what I appreciate is that honesty straight off the bat." Because if my girl was going through something and I rang you saying, "Can you help me?" I just need a yes or no. Like, I need, you know, that sort of rapid answer. So me and all my mates have kind of agreed with like a different phrasing now. If I can help, I will.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Because it leaves you that kind of wiggle room, I suppose, for you're not always going to be able to say yes. Do you know what I mean? Your mate brings you on a weekend, I'm having a real down day, I need a beer and a walk, a bit of a walk or something. Mate, I'm at work for 12 hours. You can't always be there. But if you've gone with that phrase, like we were saying, of, ring me if you need help. You might ring me 10 times, and 10 times I might be unavailable. Do you know what I mean? But so we all kind of change what we say now to each other of, if I can, I will. And actually, I'm not saying this as like we need it written into bloody law and, politicians need to write it into statute, like that's how you talk to each other, because, everyone's different. But again, just that understanding that like I say, it's ass covering, isn't it? It's saying, well, I did say I could help.
Yeah.
What I would say now is, well, I said I could help if it was right.
Yeah.
And you rang me at a time when this was happening, I'm really sorry. But just having that honesty, me and my mates have obviously, we're still best of mates, and, we all understand each other's circumstances and whatnot. And I think, imagine my mate ringing me up next week for a beer, and I'm in Leeds Hospital with my kid, and I've said, yeah, ring me if you need help. Like, I'm going to let him down, aren't I?
To a degree. But I suppose you've got to a degree, but if he's like, I'm at hospital, my son's in hospital, it's like, okay, not a problem, kind of thing.
Yeah, of course, he would understand that, but I just feel a bit more comfortable. I suppose you phrase it as like managing expectations.
Yeah, definitely.
Do you know what I mean? If you manage your expectations of what you're going to get from someone, you won't kind of be let down by that. Do you know what I mean?
100%.
And I think with like mental health, or just even day-to-day grind of struggling, people struggling away through lives, if you expect certain things from people and they don't deliver, you're always going to be let down by that. Whereas if you are aware of your friends' situations and actually aware that they will help you if they can, but they've got their own shit going on, I feel in a much better place now with me and my friends and family and stuff like that by saying them phrases and just changing that sort of messaging, I suppose.
Yeah.
Other than that, because I've been guilty of it. I know I have. I always used to say, in my 20s, ring us if you need help. I did it all the time, but when you go through like big events and you think, actually, that doesn't work for me anymore. It's something simple, it's something small, and a lot of your listeners maybe don't agree, maybe think, actually, I'll just fall into, I'll say, ring us if you need help, sort of thing. But I'm all happier changing that phrasing, because I know when you actually do go through some stuff, it actually changes what you expect of people. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely. And like you said, you probably feel a bit like a twat if they actually did end up messaging you and asking for something. You're like, oh, sorry, I can't. I've done
it to mates where they've said something like, ring us if you need her, and I've rang them and I've gone, mate, I'm having a bad day, like, do you want to meet up in the week? And they're like, I'm seeing a bird this week, and you're like, you let me down for like an excuse. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, I'd move heaven and earth to try and find that hour or two where you just touch your base with your mates and stuff, but not everyone's like that. So, if he said something like, if I can, I will, and then he's like, I'm busy tonight, I'd be a bit more like, well, he never actually sort of said. Do you know what I mean? Like, he said, if I can, I will, so he can't, so fuck him. But yeah, I don't know. It was an interesting one, and like, I wanted to ask your thoughts on it, and your thoughts of actually when you're speaking to people. Do you know what I mean? Like, because I do sort of agree with you, right? Like that, it feels like an ass covering chat.
Yeah.
And if we're going
again, only my opinion, and I'm not saying I'm right, course, but that's just how I feel on that matter.
Yeah, but it's my opinion. It's my opinion as well. To be fair, because. And I'm just wondering, when you've spoken to a lot of people, which you have now, do you get that sort of sense that actually a lot of people would say it? Do you know what I mean? They would say, ring us if you need help. And then there's everyone that you've spoken to is such busy people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got incredible careers, incredible lifestyles, doing some absolutely amazing things. And you think you can't be everything to everyone.
No, of course.
Do you know what I mean? So, yeah, I just didn't know where you boys landed on that, or whether you you probably tell each other how things if you need out.
Nah, I think I say to Jay something from I think it's from a film you got served or something. I say you're crazy, but I've always got your back.
Yeah, I like it. I don't know if my mates will have my back, but I'm sure they would without me saying it.
I think as well, like, if you don't speak to your mates, say for like a week or whatever, you don't like need to speak. Like they're like the strongest friendships.
Yeah, defo.
And the people who you would ring in a time of need don't need to say it. Don't need to reassure you. Don't need to offer you that lending hand. It's just like a unwritten,
100%.
uncommunicated rule between you. That like, yeah, we fucking got you.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, totally agree. But yeah, it's a weird world that we're all taking part in, and we're all living part of the same sort of story. And I just think if you're not being truthful and honest with each other, then you're making life more difficult than what it needs to be. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. And dancing about the actual truth.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, Jason, do you want to do TBC out for us?
What, just say TBC out?
But like, put a bit of oomph in it. Say it with your chest.
Has any other guest done that?
We've tried that. We've asked them, but
No, we did it. Because at the end of every episode, we'd always say like TBC out, peace, like that. And
I've heard it enough times.
And then so this episode with you is going to come out in 2 weeks because we've already got 2 episodes for the next 2 weeks. So one's dropping tomorrow, and then one's dropping next Friday, and yours will be the Friday after. But the dude dropping tomorrow, he won't mind me saying this, but he's fucking American, and I just don't think he fucking got it. Because Ryan was like, "Do you want to do the TBC out?" And then he just didn't get it, did he? It was like peace to my bros, Jay and Ryan.
Yeah, it was like that's great, but like we were after our little catchphrase or whatever, and he just couldn't do it, and we was like, okay, like peace, see you later.
Oh, bless him.
No.
Yeah, I mean, I'd be honoured to do it if you wanted me to do it.
Whenever you're ready.
TBC out.
Peace.
I was sick.
That was men.
But I just want to say before we go, mate, if you need anything at all, just give us a ring.
That was class. That was fucking comedy gold.
Well, I thought you was the sort of boys that didn't need to say it.
Just covering our ass.
Right, what time is it now? I'll ring you at 3 a.m, Jay. Is that all right?
Sound, mate.
We'll be spasticated at 3 o'clock, won't we?
Yeah.
200 quid a shovel and no question.
and a dildo.
And some condoms.
In the graveyard.
Oh, fuck me.
I'm down. I'm weirdly down.
No,
Yeah,
but
quality.
defo, mate, we will stay in touch 100%, mate, and we'll message you like before it's coming out and stuff, and build up some hype.
Yeah, we will.
Just spot on.
Yeah. All right then, mate. Well, you enjoy the rest of your Thursday evening.
Yeah, enjoy.
Yeah. I'm probably going to bed because the lad will get me up tomorrow morning nice and early, so...
Yeah, enjoy that.
Yeah, great.
Buzzing.
Right. Nice of them.
No, good to meet you. Good to meet you properly, lads, anywye, and take it easy with it.
Yeah,
you too, man. Lovely to meet you, Season. See you later.
Bye.
See you later.